Hello everyone, HBCU Gameday here. My name is Stephen Gaither.
I'm Wally Pitt.
And we are at the CIAA Championship. Winston-Salem State 43, Bowie State 33. Wally, we had a game here that was exciting. One team was in control almost the entire game, but it never really felt like that, right?
Oh yeah, Bowie had every chance to come back, and it seemed like right when they were about to come back, Winston would make a big play and put them back down again.
Right, Bowie is a big play offense. But early on, it was the Rams that came up with the big plays. You saw the interception, and you saw a big pass play out of Rod Tinsley Jr., and then running back Kerryon Moore gets hurt, and Justice Pickett picks the ball up and runs in for a score, so they're at 14-0. And then trouble for Bowie. You know, you've got Amir Hall, the quarterback, all CIAA, all everything, and he just kind of had a rough day with injuries, right?
Yeah, he just didn't look like himself. After the injury, I actually think the backup came in and played pretty well. I think he threw a touchdown pass, but Amir Hall just didn't look like himself. I mean, kudos to him for fighting through it, because he really fought through it, especially second half. He came and played through a couple of big hits, but he just wasn't all the way there. He wasn't playing his back foot as well as he needed to make the passes. That punt return was a key play. It was tied up 14-14. The Bowie fans had started to get back into it, and then it was the shut-up play. Kennard Brown just came right out, ran it right down their throats, and just kind of quelled their momentum there.
Yeah, you know, and in the game, he was very, really saying that, you know, he just made bad throws, so very accountable. Only a sophomore, a lot of problems for him. But another sophomore, redshirt sophomore, Rod Tinsley Jr. Made big plays for Winston-Salem State. 3 touchdowns. Kind of seemed like every time they needed a big play in the passing game, he was there.
Yeah, and you know, this year he's thrown a couple costly picks, and he's kind of been a little mistake prone, and I think he cleaned that up real well today. But my takeaway, I think that first pick was huge. I mean, it was Odell Beckham one hand. It was a beautiful pick, but I mean, had that been a touchdown, you know, football's all about the details, and that little momentum, and instead of that being a touchdown, being a pick in the end zone, it really kind of changed up the whole feeling of the game for me.
We know who was on his game, and that was Kerryon Moore. Mr. Top 10 Sports Center came through with a couple big plays today. I thought he was big early, catching some passes, and then late he just broke out some really big runs. You can kind of never count him out, right?
Oh yeah, and you know, no hurdling over anybody this week, but he had some real big plays. Another play where I think Bowie was down 10. The defense was kind of rallying. I think it was about 3rd and 8, and he came up big again with another, I think it was a 26, 27-yard run. And just every time Bowie tried to come back and get some momentum, it was either Kerryon Moore or special teams or quarterback play that just kept Winston in it and led to the big win.
Right. So, you know, Winston-Salem State holds on, wins, and they are now 9-2. They're hopeful that they're going to get a bid to the Division II playoffs, but that's never really certain. You know, you have to see how the regional rankings play out. But, I mean, you know, just judging this team, you've seen it a little bit during the year. You saw them at Virginia Union when they lost their last game. How have you seen them evolve maybe since then?
Oh, mistakes. Virginia Union was all about mistakes early. They just made too many mistakes, and then they couldn't stop stand back, and that was pretty much all she wrote. You know, they actually ended up playing a good second half in that game, but just what they did in the first, just too many mistakes, too many big plays, and that was that. And just like Coach Boulware talked about in the post game, you know, he's mixing his older guys in with his younger guys, and when it finally meshed, you see they haven't lost since then. But you being the HBCU guru that you are, what do you think are the playoff hopes for Winston-Salem State?
Winston-Salem State 8-2. The loss to UNC Pembroke and then the loss to Virginia Union. Obviously, Virginia Union didn't make the CIAA Championship, so that loss doesn't look as good as it might have looked earlier in the season when they were projected to kind of maybe be a playoff team themselves. They lost to UNC Pembroke, but I mean, this is now 8 wins in a row for these guys. You know, you've seen the offense kind of evolve a little bit, the defense really come into its own. So I think this is a playoff team. Hopefully the NCAA thinks the same way, and we saw Virginia State get a win over down in Tuskegee. So maybe the CIAA gets 2 teams in. They did last year. Don't know if it'll happen again this year. But either way, exciting CIAA Championship game. This will wrap up our CIAA coverage, but be sure to check us out next week. We'll be in Durham, North Carolina Central, North Carolina A&T, the de facto MEAC Championship game. For Wally Pitt, I'm Stephen Gaither, and you're watching HBCU Gameday.